Hey, Pistache, how we doing? Good evening to ya. How we doing, my friend? Me, switch my camera thing. There we go. Yes, hello, hello, hello. How we doing this fine evening, everybody? Pistache, it is great to see you. 100%. I hope you're doing well. What is this? Oh, yeah. Laser. Got strep throat? Oh, man. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that sucks, yo. Well, at the very least, you can type stuff out, so at least you don't have to speak on camera. If I got strep throat or lost my voice, man, oh, it'd be brutal. Because, I have lost my voice before, and the highest I could talk was a very loud whisper. It was pretty awkward. Yeah. Good evening, Issa. How are you? How are you? Yeah, I was lose my voice, man. It's just the high whisper. It's like that's as I feel like I'm shouting, but it's like the best I can do. It's awkward, but you know what? That's all you can deal with if you're gonna communicate, right? Even after then, you just like I spent so much effort, and you feel a little tired, you know. Let me get to this thing in the book. There we are. Perfect. All right. Just need to get that in the book there, and then we're good to go. Hey, Chioma, how we doing? Good evening to you. Good evening. You're good. I'm doing good as well. I do have some explanations that I need to make 100%. Excuse me. That's a little dry in my place. Um. But yeah, I do have some explanations I do need to give you guys because I did not so great things. As in I didn't do anything over the weekend. So, but you guys deserve a explanation in regards to that. So I will as soon as we get started here. Actually, I guess I could explain it now. Yeah, I was a little under the weather this weekend. I basically stayed in bed most of the weekend. I went and got my I went and got my flu shot and I got my booster shot with for COVID. So yeah, that pretty much wrecked my weekend. In all honesty, I got both of those, and then basically it was just pretty brutal. So I rested for like a good couple of days. I was still a little dizzy yesterday, and then I was like, okay, let me relax a little more. And then now today, I feel like back to 100%. So it took me a little time. Unfortunately, that I said I would upload your grades and whatnot, and I wasn't able to because I was basically literally just in bed pretty much most of the time because I was just like really sore and fatigued. So I want to at least apologize to you guys in regards to that. It wasn't my intention to neglect your stuff there. It's just if you saw me on Saturday and Sunday, you'd see me like literally just like like this puddle of mess. But later this week, I'm going to I am going to get on this week. I should say, not even later this week. I'm going to get on this week and get your grades posted. So I want to keep you in the loop and of course, explain why things did not go the way that they did. Um, all right. So, again, apologies in regards to that. But hopefully, hopefully Pistachio will feel better soon, and I hope everybody will. Hopefully, we have everybody backed up to 100% fairly soon. I know that not everybody is on board with that, but health is the most important thing first, and then you can focus on other things. All right. Got a few more people coming in. I think we're about ready to go. I think we are. Question mark? Question mark? I think. Okay. Maybe we're about ready to go. So I guess we're ready to go. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's get it done. Hey man, of course. 100%. I'm 100% behind you, my friend. Nobody wants to see you feel bad. That's no fun. I want, Pistache, I would like you to play video games with 100% energy and focus, okay? That's the goal. So if we focus on that goal, that isn't too bad at the end of the day. Alright, so... we're all in this together. Get this material in, get this material out, get over strep throat, play some video games. Heck yeah, we all are winners. Alright. Alright, let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, let's do some intros. Let's get going here. Okay, let's get started today. Welcome back, everybody, to Tuesday. Hope you're doing this weekend. Alright, so for today, ladies and gentlemen, as was explained just a minute ago, again, I apologize for not getting those grades in this weekend, as I was under the weather, taking those couple shots there. But I will be working on that this week. So I will have grades up and loaded now that I'm back to 100%. But as for what we're doing right now, is going to be the last section here of Chapter 10. So Chapter 10 here will be Section 10.3. And then just to give you a friendly reminder here, by the way, after this section here, Section 10.3, we will be moving on to a new chapter here. That will be Chapter 4, okay? So we're going from Chapter 10 to Chapter 4, all right? So Chapter 4 is the last chapter here of the textbook, just to give you a heads up. But again, Chapter 4 is where we're going to end up, all right? So just letting you know and getting things done. It shouldn't be all that hard. I promise you that. Okay? Alright. So, let's go ahead and go to the big board here. Let's go to the big board. Bam. Okay, so we're just going to do our section 10.3 here for today. In Math 120, if you take the other stats class, and you do another section here, which is why it says 10.4 at the top, but in this class here, we're only doing 10.3. Alright, so, once again, in Chapter 10, we're going to be dealing with hypothesis testing. Alright, so dry. Alright, so, let's take a look at question 1 here. Let's talk about what they're going to ask us to do. So let's take a look at number 1. What assumptions must we make to do hypothesis testing of a population mean when the population standard deviation is unknown? Alright, so in this case here, we're now taking a hypothesis test of a population mean with a unknown population standard deviation. Okay, so what does that mean here in this case? Well, basically, we're looking at just the population mean itself and not the population standard deviation as the go-to guy for what our comparison is going to be, as you can see here on the screen. Our assumptions, though, have to be like this. There are very specific assumptions, and you will see this possibly as questions on the homework. So, first one says, okay, well, the first assumption that we must make here has to be a simple random sample. So it has to be a simple random sample or a randomized experiment. So just like what we had before, again, they have to have an equal chance of being selected as part of the sample and all that jazz. Letter B. The sample has no outliers. So the population from the sample is normally distributed, or we have a sample size that is bigger than or equal to 30. So as long as we have a sufficiently large sample size, which that metric is bigger than or equal to 30, or if it's less than 30, for example, that population is drawn from a normal distribution, then that should be just as sufficient. And see that the sample values are independent of each other here at the end of the day. That is also okay. All right. Now, let's talk about what we're going to be doing here. in terms of our hypothesis test. Now, so let's read number 2, the big question here for what we're going to be covering here today. How do we perform a hypothesis test using the p-value method when the population standard deviation is unknown? Okay, so let's take a look here at step 1. Step 1 here is to determine the null and alternate hypotheses. Again, the null hypothesis here, what we're going to be using, as you can see here in the notes, is going to be the mean. Again, we want to use the population mean. So in the problem here, what they're going to give you is they're going to give you this population mean. All right, so you need to be on the lookout for that particular number there. Thank you for the posture check, Mako. So they're going to specifically give you the population mean here. Now, of course, to go along with that, we do need the alternate hypothesis, which is, again, our regular old guys here of the less than, bigger than, or not equal to, reflecting left, right, and two-tail here, respectively. And we want to state that type of test here in step number 2. All right. Next, we have to state the level of significance. All right, so we state the level of significance here, and then once again, just as a reminder, the level of significance here is going to be given to us here in the problem itself. All right, so that isn't so bad. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, now let's go over those first 3 steps here in a given problem. So we're going to take a look at a textbook problem here. All right, and we're going to at least identify the first 3 steps, and then we'll talk about the last 3 steps, which is, of course, the big meat of the problem here. But again, we have to be able to set it up first before we go ahead and do anything else. So let's go to the textbook here. Oh, I got it right here. Oh. So I'll be kind of switching around a little bit because we want to state it over here. All right, anytime. All right, there we go. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look here at, let's see, let's look at number 13. Okay. We're going to look at number 13 here, and I'm going to go ahead and see. Apologies, I'm just really trying here. All right, anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and read this together here, and let's see how we can set up this hypothesis testing problem. All right, the ACT is a college entrance exam. ACT has determined that a score of 22 on the math portion of the ACT suggests that a student is ready for college-level math. To achieve this goal, ACT recommends that students take a core curriculum math courses Algebra 1, 2, and Geometry. Suppose a random sample of 200 students who completed the core set of courses result in a mean ACT math score of 22.6 with a standard deviation of 3.9. Do these results suggest that the students who complete the core curriculum are ready for college-level math? That is, are they scoring above a 22 on the math portion of the ACT? Okay. Lots of words to digest, sure, but we can pick this apart one piece at a time. Let's start off with the first piece here. Let's talk about the null hypothesis here. The null hypothesis talks about the population mean. Okay, so if we go back here to our handout here for just a quick second, we want to talk about the population mean here. All right, now the real question is, what is the population mean? What is the population mean? Because it's going to be a number, according to our question here. What is the population mean here for the null hypothesis? What do you guys think that could be in this case? What does the population mean here in this case? Let's take a look at the problem here. So if it's too small, let me make this a bit bigger. That'll be a bit easier. There we go. Hopefully that'll be a little easier to read. What does the population mean, guys? Go with that. 22.6. Alright. 22.6. Now, 22.6 is associated with the sample of 200 students. So, unfortunately, this is not the population mean. This is why I'm asking the question here. So, 22.6 is with the people that we studied off of here. So that's why 22.6 cannot be the population mean here. So if it's not 22.6, what could it be then? Okay, good. So the answer to this is indeed going to be 22. Okay, so we want to use, I'll use a different color. So the answer here is indeed 22. All right, so 22 is correct. Again, take a look at what it says here. It says this 22 means that you're college level ready, okay? So that means, and they also ask the question, are they scoring above a 22? They're not asking for 22.6. They're asking for 22. That's where our population mean is going to be. With the sample of 200 students that they found particular data, but again, that's with the sample and not the population. Again, remember, that's the difference. Okay. Fine. Let's take a good look here then at the alternate hypothesis here. So according to the problem here, what is the alternate hypothesis? Again, we use the same letter and number here. So is that going to be less than, is that going to be bigger than, or not equal? What do you guys think? Less than, bigger than, or not equal? What do you think, guys? Less than, bigger than, or not equal to? What are we trying to test over? Remember, that's the alternate hypothesis here. The alternate hypothesis is the claim that we're making here. We're trying to make a test. All right. Say more than. Okay. That's correct, Chioma. Nice. All right. We want to put more than. Why does this never change? All right. All right, so we want more than 22. So let's read the last part here. It says, that is, are they scoring above 22 on the math portion of the ACT? Okay, so it's going to be more than. So this is step one here. Get that out of the way. All right, fine. Let's do step two. All right, so what kind of test do we have? So according to this process here, what kind of test do we have? Do we have a left tail, a right tail, or a two-tail test? Do we have a left tail, right tail, or two-tail test? What do you guys think? We have a right tail test. That's correct. Good. All right, a right tail test. Absolutely right. All right. Good. All right. And then step three here will again be state the level of significance that's going to be given to us in this problem here. The level of significance in this problem is 0.05. Okay, so again, this is a number you do not have to find. It will be provided to you in the problem again, and you will go ahead and make whatever comparison you need to make. Okay, so that's the first three steps here. We found our null and alternate hypotheses. We stated the type of test, which is a right tail test. And again, we have our level of significance. All right. So far, so good. All right. Any questions so far? All right. Okay. If there are no questions so far, let's go ahead and take a look here at the other steps of the process. All right. So the main steps of the process here, after establishing the first three steps, are steps 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so let's take a look at those. First of all, let's talk about step 4. Step 4 is we have to compute the test stat here. And as you can see here on the screen, we have the formula here for the test stat. So this is the formula here in question. We have to use the sample mean, the population mean, the sample standard deviation, and the sample size. All these things kind of all wrapped up into one. All right. So what we need here specifically, and one thing that you do need to have and do make sure to do, is that you will need to go ahead and write out the pieces of the puzzle, because that'll be important for what we're going to do next. So we will figure out this test stat here. Now, one thing that we did here last week, and just to give you a reminder here this week, is, we are going to let the calculator figure out the test stat in our place instead of doing it by hand, okay? So that's essentially what we're after here in a problem like this, okay? So we could put it together and we could plug it into a calculator with the pieces. And we're going to find the test stat here manually, but obviously we're going to use the calculator to find both the test stat and the p-value here at the same time. Now, let's put the pieces in place, though, first of all, because we need a lot of them. So let's talk about the sample mean. Okay, so we're going to have the sample mean here, which is x bar. All right, so as it says right here, we'll need the population mean, but we already have that. That's 22. All right, we have the sample standard deviation. As you can see here, the sample standard deviation, which is S. All right. I'm going to first define those. And, of course, the sample size. I don't need to really define that guy. All right. So let's take a good look here. All right. What is our sample? Hey! Athena! Thank you so much for subscribing. Hey, how are you, Athena? Hey, thank you so much. You're so kind. Oh my gosh. It's good to see you. I really have to fix my sub thing. I don't know why my sub thing does not go off. I'm not sure why my sub thing goes off. It should go off. Actually, we should check that. Why my sub thing does not go off. It should. Oh well. I'm tired. I can't wait for the semester to be over. I think a lot of people would agree with you. Let's get a poll going. How many people can't wait for the semester to be over? That's a good question. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people are probably wanting it to be over. Okay, it works, I think. Yeah, it works, alright. For some reason it works on me, but it doesn't work when you guys subscribe. Alright, I'll have to figure it out sometime. Alright, good stuff. Okay. Alright, let's get this let's put a poll. Like, how have you been, by the way, Athena? What you been up to? Oh, wow. Thank you for the gift sub. Oh, that's super kind of you. I appreciate that. That's really nice. Thank you. I'll put a poll up here. I feel like I have to put it anyway. It has to be said. Somebody had to say it. I'm like, all right, I'll roll with it. Work and homework. I have no life. Oh. Hey, Chioma got a sub. There you go. There you go. Chioma got a sub. Very nice. Everybody clicks that as fast as the poll came up. I respect that, guys. I really do. Yeah, some people like, I never want it to end. I don't know. I don't know if you guys enjoy your time with me. This is in some ways, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm gonna be a little sad in some ways. I will be sad in some ways. You know, of course, a semester's quite a, the semester's 4 months. It's quite a long time. We always come back. That's true. The thing I will be sad about, and I'll be perfectly honest with you guys, is that I don't know when I will be back to do a class on Twitch. That's the sad part, is that I've gotten used to doing this, and I like face-to-face. I like face-to-face teaching. You know, I do. It's one of my favorite things. You know, I like building rapport with students, but I've also gotten used to doing online teaching. Now it's been a year and a half and so. Yeah, so the classes at Elgin are face-to-face next semester. So, unless something changes, well, I'm hoping not in that regard, because obviously we don't want an extension. I think everybody would agree they don't want an extension of the pandemic in any shape or form. But, yeah. I'm gonna be at on campus starting next semester, going back to the way things were before. You gotta tell me what room you're in? Sure. That's not a problem. It's not hard to find me, to be honest. My schedule's pretty public. Actually, you could probably find out now if you take a look up in the schedule at Elgin. That's perfectly fine. My name should be on the classes listed. So I'm doing a couple of Math 104 classes, and I'm doing another stats class. So doing another 102, yeah. So am I doing 102 or 120? No, I'm doing a 120. 120. That's right. Doing 120. Yeah, stats 120. Yeah. I do have to sign up for next semester. I'm done with all my math. Fair enough. Of course. You don't have to take another math class with me. Some people like. They're like, okay. I'm like, cool. I respect. Trust me, I want you guys to get out of math, doing the math. That's a good question, Hisa. I actually don't know the answer to that question at all. All I know is for math classes, what I do know for math classes here, Hisa, and I can only speak for math because I saw the schedule, is that some classes are still hybrid classes. So some of them are still like half online and half face to face, and then some classes are just full face to face. And I didn't see any. I maybe saw 1 or 2 online classes. So yeah, I think maybe I saw 1 or 2 online classes, maybe. So, but I don't think all classes are. But yeah, they're trying to. So to be fair, they're trying to transition back to the face to face stuff. And I know for a lot of people, face-to-face is what they prefer, but sometimes when you think about it, you're like, okay, you come out to Twitch and stuff like that, we do lectures here together. You know, I know you guys also like this kind of environment as well. You know, so I don't know. It just depends. I guess there's no right way to say that. But I will be sad in some ways, is that I'm going to miss doing online broadcasting for classes. I will say that. If I get to do online broadcasting for classes again, I'm going to definitely there. It's P fun to be shot. It's the P value, let me tell you, big chimpin. Which we're gonna find here eventually. I just know, legitimately. Look. Big serious note time here. Look, we've been at this for 3 months. All right, a little close to 3 months now. Yeah, we got 1 month to go, a little bit over a month to go. So, I mean, I hope you guys have enjoyed your time here, at least in this class up to this point. You know, I know that math isn't the most enjoyable thing to do on a bi-weekly basis, but at the same time, I just hope you're able to enjoy yourself for at least the hour and 15 or hour or so that we actually spend together. That's the only thing I hope so, and I hope you learn something along the way. That's what it's about. So, if you did, you know, if you liked the format, you know, just based on Twitch and stuff, I'm really happy with that. I'm plenty happy with what you guys have. Hopefully, this process. I guess the best way to put it is I hope this process has been painless and not as painless as possible. That's what it's at. I guess is okay. I hope for you, Athena, it was the same way. I hope the process of going through my classes is as painless as possible. Well, I think I got one math classes, so I guess I may see you. Yeah, look, and this offer will extend out to everybody, even if I'm on campus and you run into me, or you like go to the adjunct office in the D building there, um, and you want to ask me questions, you know, in your other classes that I may not be teaching, but I always extend the offer. If you need my help, and you say, hey, you know, hey, Professor Chibbs, I need your help. Hey, man, you know, absolutely, I'll help you. You know, if it helps you understand the material, if you're having a rough time in your other math classes or something like that, and yeah, let me just ask me, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Okay, that's not a problem. That's what I'm supposed to do. So that's what I do. All right. So just let me know. I'm pretty sure you're gonna catch me hanging around quite a bit next semester around the D building, roaming around twice a week like a bum. All right, guys. Oh yeah, right. What am I supposed to do? Right. I'm supposed to identify the sample mean, the sample standard deviation, and the sample size. So let's at least get that down. And even just to let you know, Athena, still miss you. Hopefully, the end of the semester comes and you'll be able to do more than what you're currently doing. I hope you settled into your new place, though. Hopefully you settled into your new house there, and congratulations again about that. So. All right, can anybody? I'm not gonna disagree with you. 100%, 100% right, Athena. 100% right about that. Very nice to have your own space and place. Alright, guys, can you guys tell me what the sample mean, sample standard deviation, and sample size is going to be according to problem 13? What's our sample mean according to this problem? Not the cleaning of millions. True. Well, this is why I live in a condo, Athena, because I don't clean anything outside. I let the condo association get some people to go do it for me. Like, there's some. I don't even use my patio, so it's not a big deal. Big Chip at 22.6 for the sample mean, 100% right. 3.9 for the sample standard deviation, that is correct. And N here is going to be 200, that is right. Okay, good. So that is step 4 here. We're going to need these key pieces of information here to figure out what the test stat is at the end of the day. So we're going to figure this out here. All right, let's go to step 5. And we're going to find this p-value here. Okay. All right. So let's bust out our calculators here. All right. So in order for us to do this, to find our p-value here, let's talk about what we need to do here. Let's take out our calculators here for this particular part, as we're going to go through some button presses in order to figure this out. All right. And the function here, just to let you know, is going to be t-test. We're going to use the t-test here on the calculator in order to determine the p-value. All right, once you have your calculator out in front of you, type in "got it" in the chat. Once you have your calculator in front of you, this is just a good way to see how many people are ready. So we will see here in this case. All right, have a great one. Have a great one, Athena. Okay, Tori, good, good. This is just a good way to just kind of check to see everybody who's on the same page here. I just want everybody to just be able to access at the same time. Please type "got it" in the chat if you have your calculator in front of you. Once, I'm going to talk to you later, Athena. You have a good one. All right, Anna got it? Okay, good. Anybody else? Or if we're having issues, then let me know. Chioma, okay, good. Clay, Jake. Clay, Jake, Julian, you guys got your calculators in front of you? All right, no problem. No need to apologize. I'm just making sure we got the calculators there. Everybody's on the same page. Nothing to be sorry about. Nothing to be sorry about. You're fine. Absolutely 100% fine. All right. Well, maybe we got a couple people who stepped away, but that's okay. All right, so we're going to keep going here. That's perfectly fine. All right. So, first things first, what I would like you guys to do here is go ahead and hit the stat key here on your calculator. All right. And we're going to scroll over to tests. Okay. And we're going to go down to right this second option here that says number 2 t-test. I'll put that in the chat here. We're going to go to t-test, just like so. All right. Bada bing, bada boom. We're going to go ahead and hit enter. Okay. Now, there are going to be 2 options that you see here. You should have this submenu. It doesn't matter if you have the old school calculator or new school calculator. Either way, you are going to see these 2 guys right here. All right. Let's make sure that everybody is at this part. All right. Type yes in the chat if you are here at this submenu. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. I think we're okay. All right. Now, what I want to show off here next is, okay, Tori's got it too. Perfect. All right, so what I want to show off here next is you see that there are two options here at the very top of the screen. Okay, we have data and we have stats. Now, the difference between both of these options at the top of the screen is that data would mean that we're given a data set. Stats means that we're given specific stats, much like what we have here in this problem. So in this problem here, we have specific stats of 22.6, 3.9, and a sample size of 200. So we're going to keep it highlighted here on stats, or if it's not highlighted on stats, go over, highlight it on stats, and hit enter on stats, okay? That way you have had it here. Now the stuff below that will either A, change, or it will stay the same if it's already defaulted to that. And so what we want to do next is go ahead and put in our values that we have here from our problem. So the first number here is basically going to be our population mean. All right, so that's what this U0 stands for. So this is where we're going to put in 22. So 22 is going to go into that first spot there, and that is our population mean. The second number here is going to be our sample mean. Again, our X bar here. This is why we need to write down our data, our stats here, excuse me, the way that we do. So this is where we're going to put 22.6. SX here represents our sample standard deviation. So our sample standard deviation here, again, given to us in the problem, is 3.9. Again, that's just notation for that. And then N here is going to be 200. That's our sample size. Finally, down here, remember that we have our type of test. Okay, very important here. We have, again, in order, we have the two-tail, left tail, right tail test. Okay, so it goes two-tail, left tail, right tail. So in this case, of course, let's say it's a right tail test. Again, highlight right tail. Again, that's this last option here, if it isn't already. And then hit enter, and then make sure that's locked in. All right, we'll skip that part, and then we'll go to calculate here, and hit enter. And this is what you should see here on your screen. All right. Let's make sure that everybody. All right. Type. Let's see. Let's make up a word here. I don't know. Type T in the chat if you got this. Type T in the chat if you got these same exact numbers that I have on the screen. Okay. T. All right. Very good. Very good. Okay. So let's take a good look here at the two numbers. All right. Juan got it. Perfect. All right. So let's take a look at the numbers here that you should have gotten on your calculator if it matches exactly what it says here on the screen. Now, the two numbers that we're going to look at here specifically are going to be these top two numbers here, just like kind of what we did here last week. So the top number here, T is equal to 2.175 and this stuff here. This is going to be your test stat right here. So the first thing that we see here is the test stat number itself. T and T. Pieces like this looks like a Punnett square sort of thing. Anyway, we have the dominant gene, we got the recessive gene, okay? Back to old school, high school biology. So here we got the test stat as 2.1757 here as to be our test stat. All right, so that's our test stat right there. Then right below that is the p-value. The p-value here, in this case, is 0.0154. Okay. So 0.0154 is going to be that number right there. All right. Okay, so we have our two numbers here. That's all well and good. Now, done with that part. Fortunately, the other three numbers are what we entered in. All right. Go to the last step here. Now, the last step here is pretty much the same last step as we did here for the last section. All right, in section 10.2. What we are going to use is we're now going to use the p-value here and compare it to the level of significance here in step number 3. Okay, so we haven't used the level of significance here yet, but now we will. So here, we just want to see is 0.01 is 0.0154 less than the level of significance of 0.05. So a simple yes or no question for all of you. Is 0.0154 less than 0.05? All right, the answer is yes. Perfect. So, if the answer here is yes, then what is our conclusion? Which one of these two conclusions are we going to come up with? We have only two possible final answers in these problems, so what is going to be our final answer here in this case? Are we going to reject the null and accept the alternate? Or are we going to accept the null and reject the alternate? Which one of those two answers is going to be our final answer here? Okay, very good, Shioma. That's right. So again, it says if the p-value is less than the level of significance, which it is, and we definitely do that, and both you and Shimpan are correct. We want to go ahead and reject the null and accept the alternate. Good. Nice job. And that's our final answer. All right. Okay. Any questions about that? Okay. Good. Why so dry, bro? Oh, so dry. All right. Bleh. Bleh. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and try another example here. I do have one more example to do. Let's do it. Okay. Let me bring it up. All right. All right. Here is it. Okay. What did I do? Yeah, okay, let's do that. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so let's do number 21. Okay, so let's look at, let's go ahead and read this off here, as we'll need to figure this out. Alright, so the mean waiting time at a drive-thru of a fast food restaurant from the time an order is placed to the time the order is received, is 84.3 seconds. All right. A manager devises a new drive-through system that he believes will decrease waiting time. He initiates the new system at his restaurant and measures the waiting time for 10 randomly selected orders. So here are the 10 randomly selected orders provided in the table. All right. Because the sample size is small, the manager must verify that the wait time is normally distributed and the sample does not contain any outliers. Oh, I guess I don't need to do that part. Forget this. Alright, I don't care about that part. What I care about is the other part. Alright, I need letter B, actually. Is the new system effective? Use the 0.1 level of significance. Let's not worry about the sample size. We'll just assume that it's normal in nature. So let's go ahead and do step 1 here. I'm going to talk about the population mean here, first and foremost. All right? Apologies. What is the population mean here? What is the population mean here according to this problem? What is the population mean here according to this problem? What's that going to equal? What number is that going to equal? So I have something 84.3. Okay, good. That's correct. Very nice. I guess I should have also put H0. That would have been helpful. All right. So we have the mean here is 84.3. All right, nice. I think you meant 84.3, Hisa. I think that's what you meant. Just accidentally put those wrong order. All right. Now, what's our null hypothesis here? What's our null hypothesis here? Let's take a look at our question here. What would be the null hypothesis? Would we have less than, bigger than, or not equal to? We have less than, bigger than, or not equal. What's that going to be? It says, is the new system effective? So again, less than. That is correct, actually. Very good. Definitely less than. Alright, so we're going to have this less than 84.3. Because again, the manager is trying to make a better effective system. So essentially he's trying to reduce wait times at the restaurant. So he's just trying to make a better system overall. Alright, fair enough. Okay, so, what type of test do we have? Do we have a left, right, or two-tail test? Left, right, or two-tail test here? Alright, we have a left-tail test. That is correct. Very good. Alright, so we're going to put that as step number 2. And we'll also put the level of significance here. Again, that's just given to us here as 0.1. Alright. So first 3 steps down. Now, let's talk about step 4 and step 5. Okay. Now for step 4 and step 5, let's talk about this here for just a second. There is going to be a difference here between this example and the last example. In this example here, we are not given any of the values that we had in the previous example. For example, we're not given the sample mean. We're not given the sample standard deviation. We know the sample size is 10 because there's 10 numbers here in this data set, but that's the only thing that we're technically given here. So we're going to need to go ahead and work around that. Say, hey, we got a data set here. Well, how do we work with the data set as opposed to working with the stats that we had here in the last problem? So once again, in order for us to do that here, we're gonna get the p-value and the stat here at the same time, but there's not much for us to go ahead and write down for step 4 since we're not given pretty much anything outside of the fact that n is equal to 10. So that's the only thing that really matters, if we could get any information, that is. So let's set this up appropriately, and in order to do that, we're going to come back to this paint here in just a second, but we need the book, and we need the calculator. Let's bust out our calculators here once again. All right. This time, what I would like you to do on your calculators is go ahead and hit the stat key here. And I would like you to go to number 1 right there that says edit. And we're going to go ahead and plug in some values in our calculator. Now, if you have a list that exists, just like you see here on mine, remember that we highlight the list, hit the clear key, and hit the enter key. That will clear out all the values in your list, and then you can start fresh and new. Now, let's go ahead and enter it in this case. Let's enter in all the values into list 1. Alright, there we go. So we have all 10 of our values here. Yeah, we should have 10. Alright. Please type in "got it" in the chat if you have all your values in your table. Or in your list, excuse me. Just making sure that everybody has these values entered into their list appropriately. Please type "got it" in the chat once you do. Just want to be sure everybody has it in their calculators. Let's just wait, see if anybody else is kind of behind. Maybe a few more people here. Pippin's got it. Juan, do you? I hope you got your values in there, Juan. Okay, Galley's got it. Good. Julian, I hope you got your values in there. All right. Tori as well. All right, Tori got it. Julian got it. Good, good, good. Whew. All right. Just making sure everybody is on the same page. All right. Okay. Well, once we have all our values in our list, let's go ahead and hit the second key and hit the mode key. We're going to quit to the main screen here. Again, this just makes sure that we don't enter anything in the calculator that we don't want. We're going to go ahead and hit the stat key here. We're going to go over to tests, and we're going to go right back down to t-test here, all right, which is number 2. Let's go to number 2, t-test. All right, so we're right back to the same place that we were before, but this time, what we want to do is to highlight data here. And again, data, the other option here underneath t-test, will reflect if we're given a data set as opposed to given the stats. And in this particular example, we are given a data set. We'll go ahead and highlight data and hit enter. And now you'll see that submenu will change just a little bit. All right. The first thing that we're going to do is do what we have here on our paint tool. Let's put that here. Okay. The first thing that we'll have here is, again, we have the population mean we want to compare against. So we're going to put 84.3 since that was given to us here in this problem. So here we are. All right, next is the list. Now, if this is not list 1, just change it to list 1. So if you have it, all your values underneath list 1. So again, if you see nothing in there, hit 2nd and 1 for list 1, okay? If you don't see anything in there. Otherwise, I know it'll default to list 1, so. Frequency should be 1. Do not touch this number. Never change this, okay? It should always be 1, and leave it alone. And then finally, the type of test that we need here, of course, that needs to be changed appropriately. In this case, we have a left tail test. Again, it goes 2 tail, left tail, right tail. So again, we want to highlight the left tail and hit enter. All right. And then we want to go down to calculate and hit enter after that. All right. So, let's make sure everybody has these same values here. Type cool in the chat if you have these same exact numbers on your calculator. Type cool in the chat. You got these. All right. So we got a few people here got the same exact numbers. That's good. That's good. All right, type cool there. Good, good. All right, very good, very good. Anybody having issues? Let me know now before I move forward. If you're having issues, let me know. I'll go back to the list of numbers there. All right, I'm going to move forward then if I don't hear anything. All right, let's take a look at our numbers then. All right, so the numbers that we want to take a look at here are the top 2 numbers once again. Again, we are given the mean and the standard deviation here. Again, so that can be easily found here through this method. But the thing that we want to look at the most is, of course, the first number here, which is the test stat. So that's going to be negative 1.3102. Okay. And then we also have the p-value down here, which is 0.1113. Okay, so 0.1113, what we have here for the p-value. All right, so far so good. Now, we just move on to the last step here. And the last step is the same last step as we had from before. Of course, make our comparison. So let's do that. Again, let's ask the question here. Is our p-value 0.1113 less than our significance level, which is 0.1? So is 0.1113 less than 0.1? Yes or no? Is 0.1113 less than 0.1? All right. So the answer is no. 0.1113 is pretty close to 0.1, but it's not less than 0.1. Definitely not. So if 0.113 is not less than... So if the answer is no, what is our conclusion here? What conclusion are we going to make? Is our conclusion. Are we going to reject the null and accept the alternate, or are we going to accept the null and reject the alternate? Remember, one of those two answers has to be our final answer, so which one is it? Accept the null hypothesis and reject the alternate. Alright, that's correct, Chioma. Very nice. Good. So accept the null. And reject the alternate. Good. Alright, excellent. Okay, great. Any questions about section 10.3? Yeah. Any questions? No? Hopefully today was pretty straightforward, pretty easy. At least I hope so. Okay. Alright. Great job, everybody, here today. Everybody did an absolutely fantastic job. Alright, let's switch over to our thing here. Alright, there we go. Alright, I want to thank everybody for coming on out here to the stream once again. Thank you so very much. You all are absolutely fantastic, okay? Thank you so much. You guys are great. Alright? Love y'all. Y'all are fantastic. Again, remember that next time we're going to go and switch over to Chapter 4, okay? Chapter 4 will be what we're going to be doing on Thursday, which is when I'm going to see you next. Okay, everybody? Everyone have an absolutely fantastic evening, alright? Please take care of yourselves. And as always, everybody, as always, stay safe, stay healthy, but most importantly, stay sane. Alright? Have a great evening. Thank you very much, Issa. Have a wonderful evening yourself. Alright, and we will see y'all later. You guys know how to contact me via Discord or, again, via email. Alright, I will see you all later. We'll see you on Thursday, everyone. Alright, take care, everyone. We'll see you later. Take care. Alright, bye. Bye. Have a good night, Anna. Have a great evening. Big Chip, and have a great one. Take care of yourself.